Hello, fellow jams, it's Jammy here, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Uh, yeah, this is my first time recording with the, new eyes and, new microphone, so I hope that this makes the experience a lot better for you, because most of the time you can't really tell what the hell I'm saying, right? So, yeah. Anyway, let's just get straight to the game, right? So, hey, okay, let's get to it. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, it was far earlier than necessary. Yeah, that's where we left off. Alright. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I started doing work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me because trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try. And I don't have an answer for them. If they do, so the situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break up into groups. Okay. I turn my head to see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives off a smile that is equally cute and menacing. Cute and menacing. This smile says, "We have you now, no escape." Oh god, I'm threatened. Chan, it looks like we're together again. Yay, yay. Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes past her desk closer to mine, so there really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out a window isn't the best option, sadly. Okay. What's wrong, Chan? Okay. Oh, Chan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Oops. Okay. It's okay, Chan. We were talking about it after you left, and it will be rude to expect you already to have an answer this early, right? Ha 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 ha. Yo, I want to join the student council, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty fun with them, not gonna lie. I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense. I'm pleased to know that you both know how crazy you two can be. Okay, now that that's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. While I actually looked at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there is two problems. I almost wanted to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit too considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably know how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying to get her hand solving a problem. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there. Huh? Chan? Hanako, over there. Does she always walk alone? I think so, Chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone? I was just thinking maybe she could work with us or something. No. I don't think that will be a good idea, Hee-chan. Why not? Chi-chan wouldn't get along with her. Why? Misha shuffles the question around, letting out letters that laugh through very strange. It's nervous, but still has an uplifting up and down quality present in everything she says. Just because Hee-chan. Oh, really? Alright. By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation and makes it realize how Misha is signing everything that she has been saying this whole time. Oh shit, oh no. Oh. What, Chi-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy. That sounds harsh, right? You said it anyway. I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you overhear. I wonder if Misha's way of keeping things fair without her. Wait, I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair. Since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand the things Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is this also why she signs all the time? So there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of. Oh. Anyway, we should start on the problem now, Hee-chan. We finally finish with that time to spare, and I decide to ask if there is any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly the food so far has been subpar. This and Shizune and Misha are arguing among themselves about their favourite restaurants, all of them downtown. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they just arguing for the fun of it? Maybe they seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of their actual lunch break. Oh, jeez, they're arguing at lunch? God damn. Okay. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from a previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break, socialising, gossiping, rearranging desks. The ones with actual box lunches mixed in and chit-chatting like everyone else, only interrupted by short about of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels like I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she is invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. I guess she is waiting for someone. What do I do? I don't really think it's a good idea to talk to her, to be honest. Because, I'm pretty sure she's still scared of me, so it's probably best if I just read my book. I do what I always do when I think I don't know what to do. Like now. I've already started on one of my books. I borrowed yesterday and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between class. I find the page that I creased a corner of and marked the spot I left. Wait, I find the page that I creased a corner of to mark the spot I left yesterday night, and I pick up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about the restaurants still. If I join them, I get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled on joining notes doing cancel. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there is nobody who'd need to hear what she's saying. But why does it tend? But why does she tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said. Or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all. One odd conflict happens. I find it hard to focus on the book, and besides, the lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake, but still talking in their animated frustration. Just around the corner of a hallway, something hits me in my chest. The force of a running train. What happened? Ouch. Oh, I thought my heart was going then, and I was like scared as hell. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and now has just fallen down to the floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have any legs. Or does she? But they are not fresh or blown. Her pale and very much breast-like and bone thighs, and shins and feet are made of black, metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget my chest is hurting. The girl winces off a little, rubs her nose and jumps up. Oh man, hey, are you alright? Sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just sort of came out of nowhere. Sorry! She's looking really apologetic in a hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything since hurt puppies are my weak spot. What? Hell, that's a weird analogy. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. What? There's a sting in my green chest. I know this is the biggest possible danger on my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget your medicine, most of all. Don't forget the chest. Try to observe his pain away, holding my breath and attempt to content my heartbeat. Oh no, it seems normal. Okay, thank God. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of a girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realised that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over, looking all tense. Damn, I overly worried about my heart. No, it's fine, I'm fine. Imagining to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling a sore rib for one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocks the wind out of me big time. There's nothing to her. Sure, you're okay. I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I was fine, and nothing's broken, so no harm done, right? Yeah, that's the spirit. No harm done. That's good. I feel a hand on my shoulder at the... What? Good. I feel the hand on my shoulder at saying, what? That's good. Feel wide in the whole weight. The man's on shoulder wide with whole wherever with whole word eep. Okay. I don't have time to look behind me because Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to this girl, signing furiously at her. Miss Ibarazaki, I saw that. Running in the halls is strictly forbidden. God damn, Misha. Misha translates right on Shizuna's tail, but her voice is girlish and playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arm movements would seem to call for. Sorry, I was going to get some stuff and I was kinda hurry. You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behaviour endangers other students. And even worse, it's explicit against the school regulations. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I found myself smiling. I know that, I was just... Damn, she pissed, okay. Make sure that this will not happen again, although I'm sure telling you this is futile. And only 'cause of me. Only causes me further headache when you choose to ignore the regulations. Got that, Emmy? The small girl sticks her tongue out in response. Ah! I gotta go. Teacher, have my head. I promised I'd print out, but I went running instead. Sorry, but I've got to change and everything. Before Misha and Shizune or I can say anything, she already bolted off a second ago, almost halfway towards the hallway. So she just walked round. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot. So I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down. Damn, I'm really good at calming people down. Like, that was a big change. Okay, He-chan, that Ibaraki is always like that. Ibazaki girl is always like that, causing trouble to others. You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me He-chan. Never mind. Yeah, wait, okay. Yeah, anyway, I'm okay. Just got a wind knocked out of me. Okay, that's great, He-chan. I wasn't called that great, but I let that slide this one time. Okay, you have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decide to eat. Okay. Too bad you can't join, but the lunch meeting is only for student council members. I see what you're doing. We can take you some other time, but that'd be a date, wouldn't it? Wahaha. The girl leaves for downstairs. I didn't manage to get as far as a third floor hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally, I would get going as well. The lunch and the afternoon class pass eventually. I read most of the book I had started yesterday and eat some of the mostly inedible offerings of the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way that he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realise that there's still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. Damn, that was really loud in my headphones, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. It's odd at the hospital I had 24 hours of the day free, but here filling the considerable amount of shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyebrow from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nikai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spot some conversation since no one else is around. Nothing. I'm thinking about what I should do after school. Teacher slowly puts a cap on the pen. He is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizuno. But the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I considered joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club will interest me. Go observe a meeting in someone else's club. That might pique your interest, I guess. I don't know what to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take my words back and avoid a conversation. But I can't. I have no forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, you're students. I'm talking to people and everything. So it's not like I'll be isolated. I just don't know what to think about this bit. You're telling this to the teacher? Okay. The disability is, it's like, I feel like I'm being impolite if I pay attention to him or ignore him in the way. Damned if I do so, damned if I don't. Teacher scratches his cheek, absently looking unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you're making them one. You can talk normally with someone, even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just like a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Chizune's deafness when the only way to communicate with her is through Misha? Or Hanako? It's not like you can ignore her face, but I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom slamming open. Teacher? Misha crosses in, hands on with effusive greeting, her voice loud and lively as it wake up from the dead from the graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with a bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha, in general, stumps in his chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks round clueless as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong but has no idea. Yes? Have we talked about volume control before? Oh, damn, she in trouble. Okay. Yes. But she does not lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. They are running out of supplies for the festival clubs. This is a distress. She waves her pink slip or paper she's holding around. So go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there, so we don't know as the summers. I don't understand. How would I know? Shi-chan, the president thought that a teacher would know if there was plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence. Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two people communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by draining his school open by blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Oh, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything that you needed. Did my door just move? No, okay, you didn't. You'd have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy. She holds her head with both her hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her. Without noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. Wait, I just realised, what was your message? Okay, I can't remember. I should even be fetching these things. There is so much to do, and we are falling behind schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't fit his face. I think it would be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches off to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression, as if trying to say, go with make some friends. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh, I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, He-chan, you're really nice. She pauses and does a double take and then points at me with her finger yelping and looking puzzled. Okay. Come to think of it, what's He-chan doing here? Class is over, you should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, He-chan? No, I'm not. Is He-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Yutal sighs deeply, and I feel that I need to help Misha get off with the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find plywood from somewhere. If there is none in the arts room. She offers me the notes she's holding. I take it hesitantly before. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whenever I'm joining the council or not. Oh. Still, thanks, He-chan. Try to be quick. We are in the tall building streak now. We must hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nikai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so spiked. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from plain up to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shuzune's, I heave a sign. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closet to ours seems designated belonging to class 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, 3-4. On the left side, each door looking the exact same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms I didn't think were used as a classroom. I guess the art room is not the classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door as I peek. Okay. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not used. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settles on them. There are some easels. Huh? Easel's in the corner, so I at least this looks like the right place. Room is flushed in sunlight from a big window, shadow creeping all over the desk. Specks of dust are dancing in stagnant air, making it beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Huh? Anyone home? Something catches my eye, stop mid-sentence. Sitting on the desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform. What? With a thought between her toes. No hands, okay. And a morsel of food struck firmly to the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her appearance, lack of hands. But her presence here is what takes me aback even more. Okay. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner, very still, but I somehow took her as part of furnishing a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with huge eyes like a rabbit in the headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her mouth, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence before I think I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmatically. Hello? Gil's does her fork in her mouth, and then she seems to be staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello, I was told to pick up some supplies from here for the festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here. There isn't, that's why I came here too. She picks another footfall. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrow as if she was expecting my observation was false. You are pretty observant, I guess it does, but who are you? This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? Yes. I am Nikai. Isao Nikai. I transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin Tezuka. Rin Tezuka. Okay. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these things doesn't seem appropriate at all. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and now gazing yearningly back at the food. Can I continue my lunch if you don't mind me? I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for a day. What word would you use then? There is no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you are supposed to eat meals between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry and it's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Ren once again picks up the fork between her toes and, with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. I can guess. I'm good at guessing, but better than most people. Ren cuts me off before I answer her question. Or skirt. She did got one. Okay, around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of the issue. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition. Or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling she's not making it an issue of this part of social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if people here could relate. Probably better an old person could. I can't rate to she's in any circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while going through this in my head, Ring keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly content look on her face. She puts her foot between her lips and moves back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head. Something in your guts would be boring the ordinary. Like lunch at the morning. That's delicious. What must be in your Okay. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement. But some quote that. Alright. And sheer lack of tats. It was delivered to catch me completely off guard. I think it might have reacted physically as Rin's eyes widen in revolutionary. So I was right, there is something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still pausing shock, but recognising the need to reply, I spit out the first thing. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem, everything yet. I said it more like blurted it out, but said it. The other me purses her lips together, glares at me disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? Yo, I like this reaction. This is literally what I would be doing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you, just, I can let people... Wait, what? I can let people handle a person with, you know, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems? Oh, I get it. Huh? So you like go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. Okay. With little left to say, Red resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what she said. It's the first time I've told anyone about my condition. All the other people I have ever known about it already heard about it from someone else. Okay. Or didn't need to know about it like every other student so far. I have told it has natural part of introduction. Is that expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that something I'm supposed to go around introducing myself with? No. As if our histories would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such a thing. Probably. As I walk back from the room, Walk to the back of the room. I pick up the items Misha listed. A chance opens to study Rin from a corner of my eye. Her hair burnt a burn, almost orange, and cropped shorts. Long hair would probably be impossible with arms. Wait, how does she call it? Oh wait, no, hairdresser. Idiot. I'm a big idiot. A boy's uniform and lack of arms makes her look very thin, almost squatty. She is not particularly pretty except for her masculine eyes, which flicker resentfully. From below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance of her shadow make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb it within them deep wells. She moves her feet almost differently as a normal person would use her arms. Normally I can see this side could be discomfortable for people, especially while eating. It makes you feel uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it seems too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins for shells for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone, and this late, or do you occasionally get a visitor? Visitors? Maybe you are my first occasional visitor. But I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with certain people on the roof if she's not horsing around. Horsing? She likes to do sport. Oh, probably that girl I ran into. Oh, so I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin eats the last bit of her meal. Look down at the hall and check it. Misha's list. It seems I have everything except firewood. So I think I have all things. Very nice of you. Don't feel obligated to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you are going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Yup. Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. Eh? Ah, damn. This ain't Twitch. Okay. I'm not sure what to make of this. Rin looks serious. No. Even if I did, I think I would have been going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel like our relationship is at a good point enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my right shape, but she draws me back in. Fine then, I'm in Seasal. Then you are. Rin looks at me with hard in the eyes. But that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares back at you. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why she paused. Just popped between out of nowhere. I see you later, Hisao. Wait, yeah. There's something like a tiny smile there is in her face, maybe. I quietly back out of the room as I shut the door in front of her face. I whispered to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside I hear Marshall sing along. I heard that! What did you hear? I jump out of a sudden appearance on Misha, who I had not been approaching despite the complete empty hallway. Somehow she got in a jumping distance without making a sound. Creepy. It makes me remind me of Kenji's nutty theory about global feminist conspiracy. But I push that thought aside. Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof, as if she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention. But Misha is visibly excited. No, wait, more importantly, who is in there? There's no club meetings today. Tries to have a curious peek past me even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here? You took for so long that we had to come check on you. What's wrong? That's no good, He-chan. She wags her finger at me scoldingly. I found plywood, but everything else is missing because you are tardy. Sorry, I got the things here, I was just going to bring them. I think you're up to some mischief, He-chan. Who was in there with you, I wonder? Misha sighs quickly, but she has no pointing a couple times. Shizune intimidating pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. Can only imagine a shocking experience. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the instance of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be pretty hard to bear. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place, from slight but noticeably trembling off her shoulders. I'm supposed to rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just took a few breaths, adjusting her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning aside to Misha furiously. Maybe she did not blow up, but I cannot understand. She shoots a very low stare at me too, as if I was somehow at fault that Rin is sleeping on the tea. I come out as ghostly. Oh. Okay. I hope she's not getting funny ideas about reason of my tiredness. Hello? Rin's voice comes out of the other side of the door, and it makes a few eyes blinks to realise that trouble is opening up. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interesting, half-sleepy face. Hello? Huh? Miss Tezuka, what would you think you're doing here? You're absolutely not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity. It sure was suddenly crowded in here. I didn't know what was so popular. It's hard to think whether she's unhappy or happy about this turn of events. At this rate, she ignores Shizune and Misha's scolding, so I have no choice but to drop the issue. Shina taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs. Popularity aside, don't do that anymore. Huh? Anyway, how is the project going? Will it be done for a festival? Rin looks at them blankly, apparently the ease of pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her. I keep wondering about that to myself. And? We'll think about it harder. Misha signs her reply to Shizune. Her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It would be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it. Rin nods assertively. Will you think more seriously? Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't. Not for even after a translation. She shakes her head and takes the materials from me and takes off with Misha and the towel. Rin frowns furtively as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true though. I must finish a project before we can wait. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it, like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I should postpone the nap to unforeseen future. I am about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art room. Since you have nothing to do, would you mind give a hand? This paint doesn't fit into a bag, but I need it. She kicks at a slightly huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table. Okay. She's sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being a gentleman I am, I naturally pick her up. Heavy. I'm sure where do you need to take it? Anyway, away. And with that she takes off in the hallway. The paint is following since there's little choice after either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now since she's near Misha is gone. So we two leave towards the stairwell on the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps I have a strange change that can from one hand to another because of the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast. Rin strolls beside me with an uneven pace that gives me trouble matching, or maybe I am walking with extra weight. Seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs, trouble appears in the form of a hen nurse and a fox-like grin. Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence, Tezuka too, of course. He nods cautiously to Ren, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who had business with him. There is something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nodded and wait impatiently because I can't even begin to guess what I forgot. The feeling of delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about his interruption either. It's about medication since you haven't been that long in the current medication. There'll be unexpected side effects which might require adjusting dosage or even changing to another medication. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off. If you get what I mean. Nausea, headaches, anything. Come to me if anything's happened. Alright. So how are you? Everything fine? I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. I'm about to say anything generic as an answer, but I realise it's often I've done lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers, students, my parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school, except this school. This small school, and both the student space and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's what the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I can give a generic answer anyways. That's great. Also another thing. My sources tell me that you've been taking neither the school track nor even the pool, so I'd like to know if you're taking up exercising as they asked. Of course I haven't, but his way of encouraging me gives me feeling I shouldn't have been running my ass off the tracks in the first day. You have been spying? You have people spying on me? Not as such. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here. Don't try to let it slip by. Well, actually I'm going to imply some weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up a lift a can and a few times like sad imitation of a bodybuilder. If I can, arms painfully. Stupid grin on his face when comes nabbing on. Jessica, would you give a second? Okay. Just grabs my shoulder without waiting for Ren's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, drags me aside. When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you are still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason why I'm coming down this hard on you is your habits are not easy to form. But the more you slip by and postpone, the harder it will be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me that you'll take this more seriously than no, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll promise, definitely. He stalls me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. Okay, cool. Okay. Constellation. See you around. He leaves a wave of his hand with no answer, and I walk to Wen, who has been waiting idly, leaning against the hallway wall, and staring off at the pale lighting fixtures to the ceiling. Even when I approach, she doesn't move an eye off of them. Are you getting medication for the heart thingy? Were you listening? It comes off out as more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing at her. And so I didn't want to talk about it. I just met her, I don't know her, it's not her business. Nurses seem happily ignorant about confidentiality too, talking about that kind of thing in public. But it's not Rin's fault, is it? Look at her feeling a bit guilty, but Rin's staring past my shoulders quizzically like a tiltbird. Sigh. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like an inexplicable lock that prevents me from being so upfront about this. Yeah, they're for my hearts. Will they make you better? No, not really. They just make me a little less worse. Ren keeps looking at me for a while, and she neither says anything further and displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to it. The hospital, at the hospital it was easy, but I still have a sort of feeling and trying to live a normal life with such a disability. We leave the main building, Ren leads slightly onwards towards the dorms. We stop at a small patch of greenery in front of the dorm. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has a circle around every time they come and go. It's probably the only inconvenience design in the school. The entire wall made up of the same kind of brick as the building itself has been covered with some sort of painting. Most of it seems like a mere sketches, a quick lines drawn black and white against the grey plastering that covers most of the entire length of the wall, but looks a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands, and I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of it seem to be painting arranged on piles on the ground beside the wall. See? The left to see a hardly there. Because I can't get ready today, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was Sunday morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from the art class are helping with the negative spaces and bases whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint the areas if there are a lot more people with hands. The reach is better and faster too. She goes on a tangent of a tangent, waving her with her arm, or whatever there actually is to demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around and makes me think I could look sadder than it does. It makes me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of a student base's special properties has been in the past few days. This girl doesn't seem dreamery or feeling, of course, or the fact that she lost her mind a while ago and just keeps on blabbering. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure out that before it's too late and hope it's lost. I would hope he lost. That's a very good question. Because paint is already painted. Then it is dry, then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. It takes time. She finally stops, apparently thinking that she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, what is your project? You did this? Yes. All of it? Yes. Nice, but I stumble with words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into a minefield with a politically incorrectness. It's okay, you can say I probably won't get mad. I freaking blush really hard. I don't know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels like I'm more sensitive than Render, so this is awkward. Don't you want to ask? How do you paint without hands? See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet. I almost guessed that already, but it wasn't that hard to do. You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now. Wait. I can't get my mind out of that she could be an artist. But seeing how adept she is to using her feet to fit, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us had anything more to add to the subject. This afternoon light works pretty well. I'm afraid that it would look too flat. But it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in a dim light. Do you think it's flat? Well, paintings tend to be flat. No, not like that flat. No, flat. Some people have no substance, no meat, where there should be. I know a few go. Oh, okay, I get it. But I couldn't really tell. I'm not good with that art. I can't name some artists or artistic terms, so I don't really have to say anything. Rin shrugs her shoulders at saying suit yourself without saying look up at the sky and it's I don't think I'd get any actual work, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it gets too dark. I wanted a halogen lamp like the ones at the sports track, if there aren't any. Really sure to group help as if she's knowing it, as that was she's knowing. It makes me feel that the festival is a big project that every pair of hands need. Why not? I'm sure if you can be any help below. It's just mixing paints. You can do it too, probably. Do you have a motor control problems? Like, those people who have in mind? Cerebral palsy, maybe? Not that I know of. I get that heart thing has nothing to do with that. She gives a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't. Let's do it then. She sits on an empty wooden box and looks naturally, picks up a wide wooden brush between her toes and barefoot. I open a few of the cans and pour some contents into the shallow bowls and start mixing. As more thick paints flow easily from the cans to the bowl like syrup. I mix and creating funny hypnotic looking twirl patterns that melt quickly and each show a form of motion. Ren sets to work every now and then asking me for a hand with something or another. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her own head is a frustration ordeal. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are too obscure at best. Add half a brush of paint. I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green. The bright green can? This green? I carefully pour some into the bowl. No, that almost has made a whole splash. Alright. Is green a good colour to add? No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears on the corner of her mouth. Do you lack an opinion? No, it's just I have no idea. It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white. With an exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into a bowl and mix it to make it look more wetter. That's not good. It has to be like the colour when you wake up and you know what's all being in life, but you can't remember. Maybe it's yellow. Is it yellow when you wake up? I don't. Okay. Despite the impossibility of mixing colours like the change of the seasons or any other nonsense being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I rather thought I would. Seeing the painting being born on plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have been mixing paints crouching down on the paving, just looking at her work. It feels like slightly intrusive at first, but like breaking an imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind it at the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a different air as patiently it works. The details adding more layers of paint on top of each other. Steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixers, neither of us say a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolved to shorthand, but both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints in her. As if it was a need to conserve words and brief sounds. We stay here late into the evening becomes I need to take my medication. Oh god, okay, this is bad. I need to get back. Yo, I'm... Wait, how long have I been... 1 hour with mine? Okay. A sound of alarm pulls me awake from some present wakefulness. I linger in my blankets. Get a few minutes, gather the energy and the excuses I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying up for all day. School seems surprisingly exhausting after a long pause. And culture shock fades, I think. Still, despite getting an impersonation that skipping class is easy here, I don't think that they are going to let me get away so easily. Okay, I'm gonna end the episode here because I feel like I'm just gonna keep end the episode every time I wake up, basically, which is a good motive, I think. So, yeah. I shall see you all in the next video or episode. Goodbye. Have an amazing day. Alright. See ya.